you?
Good.
Good. You flew in today?
Yeah.
How are you doing? Congratulations. Present today.
When I first found out about the challenge, I was excited about it because I knew that it would give me an opportunity to be in a competitive situation, and I knew that I was a competitive person, and that I was hoping that that competitive edge would push me out the gate more than what I had done in the past.
The definition of a team is together everyone achieves more, accomplishes more. So when you in an environment where every point counts, regardless of if it's little or big, and you know the outcome puts you in a position where you actually won, I mean, you know, you got to feel good about that. But at the same token, you know, you want to shoot for the next level. You know, you want to continue to push yourself and stay humble, stay grounded.
When James called to interview me for the team challenge, I told him, you know, can I call you back in an hour? Because I wasn't going to commit to it and not do it. You know, it's not like you can join the team and just be in the club and show up at all the meetings, but you had to produce. And so when I accepted the challenge, I just knew I was in for a whole lot of growing. I was like, oh man, but here we go. But I wanted to grow, I needed to grow, so I had to place myself in a position to grow.
I watched myself grow, and you know, it's amazing to see how you advance from one place to another, and you get comfortable doing one-on-ones and different things, and you know, just your growth within the company, within the organization.
It was like you would get to a point you think, okay, I've done enough. It's like, no, you haven't done enough. And so it was like going over the edge, which was good because instead of letting our maximums be our maximums, we made our maximums our minimums.
I was looking for something because I had been through the death of both of my parents. And Howard, we had promised each other when I retired from Nissan and he retired from Nissan that the first person that came across something that was really great, we would let the other know. I just took my credit card out and just flapped it on the table. I said, sign me up. The first person I signed up, I'm like, yes, yes. And I just kept calling James, I signed up one, I signed up somebody else, I signed up somebody else. So it was just like I was so excited. I was on a roll and I had a goal in mind.
It created an environment where you could have that really almost hyper growth for the right person. I mean, they grew more in whatever, a 6-week period than the average person gets a chance to grow in 2 or 3 years.
I learned about teamwork, mentorship, and you know, just being able to work within the team concept.
We were bouncing ideas off of each other. We were, you know, celebrating the wins, talking about the, you know, who we had just sat down with, and I mean, it was perfect. It was exactly what I was looking for. And again, I just can't emphasize enough, when you first get started and you don't have a team, you kind of miss that. You're a little lonely. And the team challenge fulfilled that need for me. Plus, it put me in an environment where I could be competitive, and I enjoyed that part a lot. I looked at the scoreboard every day, multiple times a day.
Well, this is really the beginning of starting my business. You know, the challenge helped me to launch at an excellent number, but now it's when the work comes in. You know, you can never stop. You have to continue to go and grow and meet people and talk to people and get them to see the benefit of being in a business that's going to help you to have the things that you've always wanted out of life. So it's dealing with being successful, and also it's dealing with being healthy.
The highest point for me was seeing the excitement of my family. Every time I would show them, you know, the score and things of that nature, it was always great to see them get involved and see the smiles on their faces and knowing that, hey, you know, this is a great thing, you know, Dad's or my husband is really pushing himself. And then, you know, of course, you know, seeing the laughter and the support from the team. Every time that we hit certain goals amongst the team, you know, we was congratulated. When we didn't hit those goals, we was said, hey, you know, build courage and advice to next time, okay, let's shoot higher.
I just felt like I was going through a metamorphosis. I could just feel myself growing, you know, and then I'm laying in the bed, I should be asleep, and I'm thinking of like what I'm going to do tomorrow, who I'm going to sign up, and how I'm going to follow up. And I got a list of people I'm going to hit for this and a list of people I'm going to hit for that. And just being creative. And so I just felt myself growing, and it was just something, you know, you can't describe it, but you know what's happening to you.
I'm going to use the challenge as a springboard, you know, to launch my business.
It would be very foolish on my part to have had this experience, learned all that I learned, accomplished the little bit, because I mean, winning the team challenge is a big deal, but in hindsight, it's kind of not a big deal, because once I got into it and started doing it, it wasn't that difficult. You know, it was all attached to my fears. It was all attached to things that were within my control. Nothing that happened in the team challenge was rocket science. You just talk to people. You just go out and tell people about a wonderful product, about a wonderful business opportunity.
Well, it's still intense because we still have goals to meet. So I still feel like we're still in the team challenge. You know, just because July 1st came, it doesn't mean it's over for us, because when we started out, we had goals, and they weren't just for 30 days. We set some 90-day goals, and we set some long-term goals. So it's even more intense now because there's more work to do. I have to work towards getting Jade, but also building up a team, and then finding out who your runners are, and continuing to be coachable, and being consistent with your work ethic. It just goes on and on and on. So, you know, this is when the work starts.
Regardless of what's going on in your life, regardless of the situation you may think to be hindering you from joining, get involved anyway, because you can't do nothing but get better. You can't do nothing but have success. Latch on to someone that's already having success as well, and support and listen, plug into the training again, and stay coachable.
The key is get involved, be actively engaged in your business, and be actively engaged in your future. There's no reason with this type of opportunity out there, again, whether you're talking about the overall TNI opportunity or the team challenge, there's no reason to be left behind.
You have to think about someone besides yourself, and to be successful in this arena, you have to think about people besides yourself, because ultimately, when you build a team, and you're having success in this arena, you can't do it if you're selfish and just think of yourself. You're going to have to, at some point, develop the ability to think about the people in your organization and to do what you feel is best for them. And so that's what I loved about the team challenge.
Frederick. Thank you. Go, sir. All right. Yeah, this is a nice iPod Touch.
Thank you.
There you go, sir.
You can download it if I still have my laptop.
There you go. Cash, right? And you do with this what you will. Go, sir. Congratulations.
Congratulations again to Tucker's Terminators for being the first ever winners of Tahitian International's Team Challenge. I'm telling you, their experiences, their efforts, the things that they did on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis led them to success and to winning this first ever challenge. I'm telling you, you can see the change in their businesses, having gone from the very beginning of just starting as corals at the very beginning of our businesses to now having achieved new heights of success. Not only was it through income, but through new relations, through new associations, communications, and contacts, as they were able to drive their businesses forward. I know that through their efforts, they have truly built a business and created a foundation that through continued work, perseverance, participation, and following all the things that they've begun to implement in their businesses today, that will withstand the test of time. Congratulations again. Look forward to your participation in the next Tahitian International Team Challenge.